All right, guys. Hello, Scott Donovan, international sales trainer, mentor, coach. Today is probably one of the most important topics that we're going to discuss. It's objection handling. Now, probably one of the reasons why it is the most important is objection handling is you need to basically be able to be proficient at it. Otherwise, you're not going to get to the yes. You shouldn't fear objections because the more objections you get, kind of the better. Do you know what I mean? It's better if you can kind of handle the objections before they come at you, and we'll discuss that in other videos. But what we're going to do now is we're going to discuss how to handle an objection, so an actual objection that someone throws at you, and how to handle that. Now, of course, it doesn't work all the time, because it would be amazing that if you could handle any objection all the time, you'd be getting every single deal through. However, this is a method that works a lot of the time. Now, you know, probably 90% of the time, it will get you to a decision, right? If you're speaking to the right person, and what I mean by that is the decision maker, then you're going to be pumping deals through on the board. You're going to be becoming extremely good at this. And in terms of your sales organization, you're going to be up on the board as one of the leaders. Now, let's just say, for instance, you've given someone a call. We'll call Mrs. Smith, for example. You've given Mrs. Smith a call, you've pitched your product, you've gone through your intro, etc., and she stopped you throughout the process. You know, it can be at the end, it can be, you know, at the beginning, it can be through the middle, whatever it is, and she's just thrown, look, Scott, I don't have any budget for this. Now, a lot of salespeople, especially in the initial stages of their career, what they start to do is they fear. That's the rejection. They don't want to feel that they don't want to feel rejected. So what they do is, okay, Mrs. Smith, you know, look, if you actually have budget in the future, then give me a call. Boom. How many salespeople do we work with? Do we see that actually happen? I mean, I've seen that countless times over my career. I've gone into organizations and I've seen that. And that's not something that's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it's not a good thing, of course, but it's something that can be worked on and trained, right? Because that's the end of their sales process, in a sense. You know, they've asked for the deal straight away. They've said no for whatever reason, and they've obliged and just hung up the phone. Okay. That's where their sales process has ended. That's where the objection handling didn't kick in when it should have. So I'm going to show you a few steps here of how to overcome an objection. So say, for instance, Mrs. Smith has given you the budget objection. I don't have money, whatever it is. You know, we don't do these sorts of things. Now, the first step that you need to do is you need to show empathy. You need to do that. That's very important. So you agree with the prospect. And it would look something like this, I guess. Oh, Mrs. Smith, I totally understand. In today's marketplace, you know, a lot of the companies that I speak to don't have budget, and I understand that. But let me ask you this. If you did have the budget, is this product, is this solution, is this service something that you'd like to look at? Right? So what you've done there is you've kind of given them a yes or no answer, right? So it's a closed question. And you've given them the chance to respond with a no or yes, right? And there's a reason why we do this, okay? So if, for example, the prospect goes down the avenue and says no, what does that do? It means that whatever they've said before, in this case it was budget, it means that it's not a real objection. They've just said that to get us off the phone or to stop talking to us face-to-face, whatever it is, okay? So there's a real objection that's underlying or festering there that they haven't disclosed to us, and that's what we want to find out. That's why we don't fear the objection to start off with, because there's an actual problem underneath, right? So they can take the other avenue, of course, as well and say, yes, I would like to do this product. Also very good. Why? Because they've told us that this is their actual problem. They don't have budget, right? That's this example. It might be they don't have money, they're not the decision maker, you know, their mum won't let them, whatever it is. But however, they've given us that information that's their real objection, that's their problem, that's actually stopping them from buying our solution, buying our service, whatever it is, okay? So let's just assume at this stage that they say yes, right? So, you know, would you like to go otherwise ahead and take this product or this service if you had budget? Yes, I would. Okay, so the next step is we need to understand why. You know, what is it about, in this case, the budget, you know, is holding them back? Have they spent it somewhere else, etc.? Okay, so let me ask you, what is it about the budget that's actually, you know, holding you back on this? look, we've already spent our marketing budget for the year, and we don't have any more. Strict instructions from my CEO that once the marketing budget's depleted, then that's it. Okay, so you've said there, Mrs. Smith, that your marketing budget is depleted. Okay, but why are you actually spending your marketing budget, if I may ask this? Because a lot of the companies that we actually work with, they're using their sales budget for this sort of event. For this sort of product, etc. So, is this something that you've looked at in the past where you could actually use your sales budget? I mean, how much do you have left in your sales budget? See, so what you're doing is you're actually opening up a new avenue, right? So you're trying to resolve the issue that they have, right? And so what you want to do is then to attach a kind of a resolution, if you like, and say, listen, if I could show you how other companies have used some of their other budgets to pay for this, would this be of interest for you? And again, it starts off again. If they say no, then they're actually keeping a real objection there. We need to find that out. We're not going to be successful at finding that out unless we attack that problem. What is their real objection? Is it their actual budget, or is there something else that they're hiding there? They might not be the real decision maker. So let's go back to the other avenue. Let's say, for instance, they say no. Okay, so I'll say, look, if you had the budget for this one, would you otherwise go ahead and do this, Mrs. Smith? No, I wouldn't. Oh, really? Okay. Look, just for my information, what else is holding you back? Why wouldn't you go ahead and do this? Oh, because it's not my decision. Oh, it's not your decision. Okay, so look, totally understand that. I've worked in large organizations, hierarchy, etc. You need to respect. Who is the decision maker on this? Who, is it various stakeholders that come together, sit down and make a decision on this? Who would we need to involve to make sure that, the budget's in place, etc.? Oh, that's my marketing director. Okay, so that's your marketing director. Okay, we'll stop it there. So what that tells us is two things, right? We haven't pitched the decision maker, which, is a problem that new sales executives do. They're not talking to the decision maker. So essentially, who you'd want to be targeting is the marketing director, etc. But you might not know that information. It might be a complicated process or decision-making process that this organization had. You might be speaking to what you would consider as a decision maker, so maybe the marketing director, but it's not him or her to make that decision. It's, for instance, the CEO needs to be involved. So you're not going to have that information unless you actually start talking to the people involved. So once you understand, okay, that it is the marketing director that makes that decision, then again, you just need to kind of like push that information aside and then hypothetically say, if it was up to them, if it was their decision, or if they had the budget, etc., hypothetically, would they go ahead and do it? So in this case, okay, look, understand that organizations such as yours have these kind of decision-making processes. However, if this was up to you, if this decision was totally up to you, do you think this is a good idea to go ahead and do this? Well, yes, I do. Okay, so that's good. So I'm glad that you're on board with this, and you see the potential of this product and where it can actually help your business. So who is the actual decision maker? You mentioned there that your marketing director. Does he or she usually go for these sorts of products? And that's where you want to start to ask these identifying questions. So you want to find out, do they actually spend money on these sorts of products or services? When was the last time him or her actually purchased one of these? What are the current problems? Why they don't actually spend money on these products? So then you want to start going down in your consultative sell. But to start off with, that's how you handle the objection. So you want to brush it aside straight away, acknowledge it first, brush it aside, come up with a resolution. So this is what it looks like. Empathy. So yes, Mr. Smith, I completely understand in today's marketplace that budget is key. A lot of companies are facing this kind of constraints or issues as well. However, what I've done is I've also enabled or empowered a lot of companies to find their budget from various sales, operational budgets, etc., to not have a detrimental effect on of stopping them from buying this product, whatever it is. Okay, so once you've acknowledged it, right? You've showed the empathy there. You need to brush it aside. Okay. So having said that, Mr. Smith, if you actually had the budget for this, would you go ahead and do this, right? Yes or no? Okay. So that's when you need to go down that avenue, right? If it's yes, okay, great. So what is it about the budget that's holding you back? I mean, is it your sales budget or your marketing budget that you're talking about? Oh, it's my marketing budget. Okay, so I understand. Just a really quick question. Why are you only referring to your marketing budget here? I mean, a lot of the companies that we work with, they don't even consider their marketing budget here. They're talking totally about their sales budget. I mean, at the end of the day, what they want to do once purchasing these services is see sales on the board, right? Yes, you need to get your company out there. You need to have it exposed to the marketplace. And that's, sales and marketing is becoming blended these days. However, this is a sales tool. This is a sales product, etc. So, how much do you have left in your sales budget? So that's what you want to attack. You want to start to go through that. But first, show empathy, brush it aside, clarify kind of, what they're actually talking about in terms of their objection, and come up with a resolution. All right, guys, thanks very much. Subscribe here.